What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your brewmaster-in-chief. And tonight, in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you with Maro's teaser. I always love this time because it's really like a signaler for me. Then it's like we're just days away from spoiler season starting. He's been very, on point with them. Every single new set, the release of this teaser post on his Tumblr is just always bang on time. And here we are, at it again. We will jump into a brew right after this, but I thought I'd just preface this video with a little bit of teaser action for the Brothers War, which is just around the corner. So first up, here are some things that you can expect. Over 10 legendary human artificers. We've already got 2, I think, but this is very interesting. I mean, if not unexpected, right? Artificers have everything to do with artifacts, and the fact that there's over 10 legendary human ones on this plane, it makes a bit of sense. It's all about constructing artifacts, so you're going to need a lot of different artificers. Then we've got another card with End the Turn. Okay. Why does it say another card? I guess I know there's been some in the past, but there are none right now in Standard, as far as I know. But interesting. So then if they word it like that, that means it'll be the only other card. That's also very interesting. Which is the one that I'm thinking of that has End the Turn? There's been a few. There's been a few, actually. So, okay. Anyway, interesting. Very interesting. It'll probably be some sort of, like, control deck, 7 mana type of an effect. Let's see. Next up, we got a command. Ooh. Does that mean commands are back? Is that what that means? I really enjoy the commands. We'll probably get them in each of the color combinations that have triomes right now. I wonder, or maybe it'll be like completely the other ones, which is pretty interesting as well. But one that has X in its mana cost. Nice. We only just lost the commands. The last bunch were in Strixhaven, and those were amazing. Like some really good ones to play with. I thoroughly enjoyed almost all of them, honestly. My top 2 favorites are probably the Is It one. What were they even called? Silverquill? Silverquill is Golgari. Oh my goodness, I've forgotten all of them. But you know what I mean. The white and the red and blue one was really good, and the white and red was really nice. Lorehold. You see? I remembered some. Lorehold, what was this? What was the Is It one? Oh my goodness. Not for the life of me. Anyway. Interesting that the commands are back. Can't wait for that. A spell that mimics an element of the effect of a creature that was originally printed with the picture of a world champion on it. Okay. That I cannot guess because I don't remember. I'd have to Google that, but I'm doing this like raw. I haven't read these myself. This is the first time I'm going through them. The last 2 that I can remember with a picture of a world championship, with a world champ on it, were Fervent Champion, the 1-mana red knight that had Javier Dominguez, and then the Elite Spellbinder with Paolo Vitor, Damo de Rosa. But I just don't understand if why the Japanese fella Shota didn't get his likeness in a set, even though he won the most recent World Championship. I can only imagine that he would have said no thank you, which is crazy because like it's one of the most insane achievements somebody can get in the Magic world. You're in the canon forever. And they had Kamigawa, which is a ninja set the year after he won, so they could have printed like him and he's Japanese as a ninja. Anyway, missed opportunity, but anyway. The last two I can remember are Javier Dominguez and Paulo Vitor, and I guess a spell that mimics an element of the effect of a creature. We'll have to wait and see. I cannot even hazard a guess. Next up, we got a Teferi with a new way to gain loyalty counters. Well, we all knew Teferi would be coming, so that confirms it Teferi, which is pretty cool. Also considering we've already got one in standard, that's white and blue, and I can only imagine that he'll be white and blue again. And we've also just seen already the spoilers of, Mishra and Urza turns into or melds into an Azorius Planeswalker. So that's potentially 2 Azorius Planeswalkers in one set. That seems pretty interesting. Or maybe it's a Teferi in a different color combination. Maybe it's a plain blue Teferi. We've had that before, so we'll have to wait and see. But he's obviously an important part of the story. For those of you reading the story, I'm up to date. Teferi's in there. So it'll be interesting to see what this new way to gain loyalty counters is. We've had a few different ones. I mean, even just think of something as simple as oh my god, Lolth, the Spider Queen. When a creature you control dies, got loyalty, things like that. So with Teferi, I can imagine it maybe being something to do with whenever you cast instant or sorcery or something like that. But anyway, next up we've got equipment with Equip Soldier. They always try to do this, and they switch it around between soldiers and warriors, and then we had samurais, but it's always borrows colors, and it kind of always sucks. We got a bunch of them in the most recent set as well, and hasn't seen any play whatsoever. But who knows? Maybe they'll finally give some sort of Boros equipment deck a bit of time in the sun by printing something really overpowered in the coming sets. A new Onulet. I don't know what the old one was, so sorry. Please let me know in the comments. Those of you who have, more up to date with all of the sets, I definitely missed, or at least I can't remember a time when there was another Onulet in play. So please let me know in the comments. Next up, we got Protection from Everything. Nice. I like that. I like protection. Protection from everything returns. So don't forget, of course, the common mistake, especially for the newbies, is, they think that protection from white would mean that your creature with protection from white, for example, would survive a depopulate. Is not the case. It's only from targeted spells. So, but still pretty cool. Protection from everything is nice to have. I wonder if it'll just be on one card or multiple cards. Then we've got a white creature that taps to let you and your opponent draw a card. Of course, it had to be you and your opponent. White card draw will always suck. Probably won't see any play whatsoever. One colored artifact. So this I've been seeing a lot of people talking about on Twitter. Because, we've got colored artifacts, quite a bit of them, especially in Kamigawa. The red ones, there's a lot of. There's a fair amount of blue ones and whatnot. And, you might expect a set that's going to be focused a lot on artifacts to have more. But apparently there's only the one. And the rest are all actual artifacts, like they used to be originally, without any color, just colorless artifacts. And I think that's pretty good, because the artifacts kind of sucked lately. One or two, like, crucial ones that see play in every deck, like Bankbuster or whatever, but no real powerhouses. And if this is a set where they're going to come, then if there was a set where they would be put, then this would be it. So pretty excited, cannot wait. Next, here are some rules text that will be showing up on different cards. We've got create a tapped Power Stone token for each creature you control. These tapped Power Stones are going to need to do something more than what they've been doing so far with Karn, because so far pretty underwhelming. I mean, you have to wait for the next turn to untap them, so there has to be something that you can do with all of this mana, and all of them say the same thing. You can only spend it on artifacts or activating artifact abilities and things like that, so maybe, you know, some strong artifacts that will make use of these power stones. For now, the only real payoff that makes any sense is Karn, and it's not that good. Then we've got a 1/1 counter on a target assembly worker. So we had that land spoiled, where it's another creature land, gives an assembly, so I can either make itself into an assembly worker, and then if you have more available mana, you can give an assembly worker an additional +2/+2, I think it was, so you can make it a 4/4, and I guess there's a way here to also put a +1/+1 counter on it. But, you know, that's also signaling that there'll be more assembly workers, not just that Mishra's Foundry or whatever that makes or turns into one, which is great. Little go wide, like tokens deck in colorless. Ooh, sounds really fun. I can't wait to try that. Then we've got whenever one or more creatures with mana value 3 or less enter the battlefield under your control. That can be almost anything. But the last thing I can think of is for example, the Welcoming Vampire. That it's a creature with mana value 2 or less. Was a toughness, you know, it has a certain threshold, and then when it enters the battlefield, in that case, draw a card. In this case, it'll be something else. We'll have to find out. Next up, we got permanents you control have ward. Sacrifice a permanent. I like that. It's the type of thing, by the sound of it, you know, usually, for example, Zur, the current set, the current standard, Orzhov colors, and gives your enchantment creatures, or, you know, your enchantments, Death Touch, Hexproof, and Lifelink, and then you can transform. We just saw it in my domain control deck, and you know, it says enchantment creatures you control. But that excludes it, because he's not an enchantment creature, and, you know, so then you just kill the thing that gives that effect, and then the rest of the things lose it. In this case, it just says permanents you control, which is interesting because it could be like an enchantment with an effect like that, or a creature, I guess, may have a static line like that. But that means that even targeting that whatever it is that has this and gives it to you will have sacrificed a permanent, and that's a pretty hardcore ward to get around if you think about it. It's not like you know, ward 2, or, you know, ward pay 3 life, or ward discard a card, which we've had. You know, this is ward sacrifice a permanent. Pretty interesting. Can't wait to see which card that goes on to, but I would assume it's maybe an enchantment, or maybe some big creature. I don't know. That's the first time we've seen that, so I'm pretty excited about that. Then we've got whenever you cast an artifact spell with mana value 6 or greater. Yeah, so more artifact stuff. Makes sense. I just can't think. Yeah, I mean, it's a type of thing that you'll play on like turn 4, and then you need to wait till turn 5 or 6 to cast something with mana value 6 or greater. That also needs to be an artifact. For now, there's nothing that I would do because there's no good artifacts with mana value 6 or greater in standard. But again, this being an artifact centered sect, I can't wait to see what you know, payoff they'll have for a line of text like this. Then for each type among non-creature spells you cast this turn. Okay, so that could be instant sorcery, planeswalker, artifact, enchantment. Yeah, cool. I don't see. Yeah, whatever. Interesting, I guess. Create a tapped 3/3 colorless zombie artifact creature token. Zombies, huh? Getting some love with artifacts. I can't wait to see how they do these things. You know, the Wizards is genius. This is the one part of them that no one can ever complain about. Is this, like, this meshing together of different, you know, formats and balancing it. It's really terrible. lately it's been really good actually. So you know, zombies go all the way back to um, Midnight Hunt and Crimson Vow, and haven't been seeing that much love. But then, a couple sets later, you know, who knows if this brings some of this new artifact synergy into an older deck in standard, and see if it gives a little oomph. I like these kind of things. I hope it is, because zombies I really enjoy playing. Next up, we got look at the cards in each pile, then turn a pile of your choice face up. That reminds me of the new Sphinx, the domain Sphinx. Some, where the either you or the opponent, I guess, divides things that you reveal the cards off the top of your library, or but I can't make a real guess as to what this could be. The other time now that we're making things into piles is Liliana's ultimate, where the opponent kind of separates the permanents into two piles, and then whichever one they choose gets exiled or whatever. So yeah, could be pretty nice actually, but who knows. Gains your choice of Flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, or Haste. Reminds me of Elspeth's +1, the 5-mana Planeswalker that we have now in white, where the +1 gives Flying, Vigilance, I think First Strike, and Lifelink or something like that. This might be something similar, but like on a, maybe like a white, black, and red. A Mardu Planeswalker. Maybe. Interesting. I like this type of things where you're giving a new ability to a creature you control or something. Gets a counter, nice. Whenever you cast a beast or bird spell, nice. And finally, here are some creature types from the set. Let's see. I'm expecting elves, goblins. Got another ape, a mole horror, Phyrexian worm, of course, more Phyrexians, human assassin. Ooh, an artifact creature, Phyrexian worm. Nice. And this is an artifact creature ape. Elf druid, soldier. Nice. Very nice little cross of creature types there. Human artificer scout. Legendary human wizard advisor, elf druid scout, and a human artificer advisor. Okay, so really didn't give much away. Elves, cool. Yeah, I was expecting more goblins and merfolk and things from the lords that we got. That's it. Then it just continues by saying, for the answer to these puzzles and so much more, tune into the official Magic YouTube channel or twitch.tv/magic at 9 a.m. Pacific time, noon, October 27th, to watch the debut video. I'll definitely be doing so, and having a little reaction video that'll go up on the channel right after I do so. Cannot wait for that. And of course, episodes of spoiler talk and whatnot coming along right after that. And then we'll probably get into the early access event again. So yeah, lots more coming your way, and stay tuned. That is going to be it for this early little bit of the video. And now we're going to be jumping into some deck action. And I wanted to show you this Modified Devastator. This was the first deck that I put up on the channel on August 31st. It was like the first day of the new set. And I wanted to just play with Shivan Devastator, and I went for this modified list, but I put like, Jugan in here, Lightning Strike, Kami War, lots more removal, Tameo safekeepings. I don't know. Like, this was my initial build on Gruul at the very beginning of the format. And now it's been a while. It's been, it's a long time since the 31st of October. And Gruul has changed, but a lot of the cards are obviously still the same. And I've been spending a lot of time with it and winning quite a bit. And I cannot wait to show you this deck for this week's first episode of, serious competitive brews. And so without further ado, let's jump into tonight's brew. Gruul Bankbuster. Lots of one-offs. This is my latest iteration. I've been initially there was just 3 Briarbridge Trackers. Did not have the Squee. Did not have the Reckless. Initially, I had, more Radhas, less Bankbusters. I've been adjusting numbers. And this is my latest iteration. And yeah, lots of one-offs. But I'll split it into categories. We've got removal, play with fire, 1 strangle, 1 flame-blessed bolt. So exile, 3 damage instead of the 2, but for sorcery speed. And then instant speed can go face with the scry. Little plethora of 1 mana removal spells. Then we got 2 lightning strikes and 2 rending flames. That's it. That's our removal. Period. Paragraph. Then we've got our 1-drops. 3 copies of Kumano faces Kakkazan, 3 copies of Ascendant Packleader, and 2 Shivan Devastators, which aren't real 1-drops. These are just kind of curve fillers. Then onto the 2-drops, we've got 2 Bloodthirsty Adversaries that can be cast on turn 2 or turn 5. Try to hold them back because we don't have a full play set in this deck, so they're really much better on turn 5 when you can also get a free one of our removal spells from the graveyard and potentially remove something before swinging in with a 3/3 with haste. But then we've of course got a couple of Radhas and 3 Quirion Beastcallers. I made a post about this on Twitter. These guys, like the games when they survive. Okay, so the best possible thing is you go turn 1 Kumano faces Kakkazan, turn 2 Quirion. It sits on the board for a whole turn. And now it's bigger, so it'll enter the battlefield as a 3/3, so that's cut down proof. The opponent might have a lightning strike, but oftentimes, on turn 2 they want to try and match your creature with another creature. They play a creature or whatever, but they're gonna need to have like either lightning strike or Infernal Grasp, and the number of times that they do is just bonkers. But if they don't, you're playing the type of deck that doesn't have that type of spell, those colors or whatever, and this gets to sit on the board until turn 3, turn 4, that's going to be an easy win, because this is a removal magnet. As soon as it hits the board, they know that, if they do it next turn and you've got another creature, then you get to save the +1/+1 counters from it, and they get rid of it straight away, even if it's a bad removal spell like Infernal Grasp. So yeah, still a bit on the fence about maybe it would be better just have 2 of those and 3 Radhas or something. But for now, I've settled on this spread. But then the real important addition to the deck is 3 copies of the Reckoner Bankbuster. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. The Reckoner Bankbuster has charge counters on it when it enters the battlefield. So you play it on turn 2 if you don't have something better to play. And you will then try and follow it up with Kodama, the West Tree, on turn 3, which we have 3 of. And because it is modified, because modification counts as equipments, auras you control, and counters. So even charge counters count as being modified. So if you play your Bankbuster on turn 2, play your Kodama on turn 3, equip your Kodama with Reckoner Bankbuster. I beg your pardon. Equip your Reckoner Bankbuster with your Kodama, you can swing in for 4th with Trample on turn 3, which the opponent almost never has a decent enough blocker for. You get in for the damage, and you're going to draw yourself another card, which will almost certainly guarantee your turn 4 plays, which as usual in the Gruul deck these days is 3 copies of Halana and Alena and 3 copies of Thundering Raiju. And the rest of the deck is just, good stuff. Either going to have some hasty boys with the Reckless Stormseeker or the Squee. We got the Briarbridge Tracker that can poop out a clue token. We can use that to draw some cards if necessary. But otherwise, just a nice Vigilance, 4/3. Especially if you start to modify it with your Thundering Raijus and things like that. It's quite nice. And then just a couple of Shivan Devastators that can sort of, maybe come in over here, or whenever you have a sort of dead turn, you just dump all your mana into it, and then if you can follow it up with some counters from Alena and Alena. Wow! And that's the deck. I've managed to trim down 1 land, so we've got 23 lands in the deck. And it's been just fine because of this ability to go find lands with Kodama whenever a modified creature gets in for damage. It's usually been just absolutely fine. And the Bankbuster gives it a little bit of ability to come back from behind if we do get swept up or lots of removal, then we have a Bankbuster sitting around. We can either crew it with a Mech Hangar and keep swinging, or just draw a couple more cards than Gruul usually gets. So it gives us a little bit more of that. You know, typically aggro decks, you just dump your hand, the opponent finds a solution to what you got served, and it's game over. Here, like, we might be able to draw a couple of good cards and get back into a game, and it gives a little bit more of that longevity, which I love. And that's the list. We do have a couple of Boseijus, a couple of Sokenzans. The rest is just sort of normal stuff that you would expect. Let's jump into some games. Ranked Bankbuster. Go. Time to focus. Updated Gruul action. It's been a while. I've been really enjoying it off camera though. Like, especially these late nights when you just want to play a little bit more calm and relaxed. Just need a top deck, a 2-drop, and we're like loving life. Uh-oh. Could be Joda. Almost perfect, really. Not expecting that. There we go. 4th land. Or 4 Kodama can block Shivan Devastator. Here comes Raiju. I was expecting it. Nice. No problem. I'll take 1 red, 1 green. Beautiful Godzilla lands, baby. Now if we top deck a Shivan Devastator of our own, got him. Climbing back up into the 90s with this one. Just trying to, just whatever. For personal pride sakes. Not sink way too low, the 90%. As we reach the end of the month. Ooh, I'm so excited for Worlds. I'm going to be staying in an Airbnb in Parma. And my in-laws are going to be looking after my son. First time in a while that I get a little break like that. Whew. It's going to be cold beers and top level MTG non-stop for the whole weekend. That has got to be the best thing I could have possibly drawn. That's fantastic. Couldn't have asked for a better top deck. Against green especially. Now I'm just dreading he plays like a black land. Or a red land. It's just straight up green. It's a little bit better. Oh, and we got our 4th land. Don't remove it now. Please. For once, let my Quirion stay on the battle. You know, you can actually untap with your Quirion. Feels like... Of course. I Told ya. It's basically impossible. Let's go with the tracker. This is just like Selesnya or like, you know, aggro. Yeah, looks like it. Okay, no, maybe it's enchantments. That's bad card draw, done like that. Alright, alright, alright. What could it be? Doesn't have enough. Well, he's got a treasure though. Uh-huh.
Kamigawa, and I will protect my
I
people.
doubt he'll -2. He'll probably -1. Oh, he goes for the -2.
This is what you get for hurting my people. I still have much to
Put that in the graveyard for the next turn. Oof. And we can draw here with the clue. Oh no, that's gonna reduce the size of our tracker. Is that a good or a bad thing? I don't know. We need to give it trample with a copy of Kodama. Then we're good. I think we must draw. We can just give it we can grow the tracker again by making these tokens if necessary, or we can just bring in the adversary. We gotta watch out for these guys though. Okay. That's nice. The legendary reduction. What you got? Still no double white for a Wandering Emperor. But I do worry about that. Now he's got triple white. Show me what you got, boy. What's in that paw of yours? I was expecting some wedding announcements. At least. Okay. Oh. This champion is here. Doesn't buff the elves, notably. Oof. Okay, we get rid of Sagada for sure. Lets the 3 through. Perfect. Kind of pretty happy with that. And we got a pretty big freaking dragon coming through next turn. We can make it 4, 6, 6. Yeah, just with the dragon we're good. He's gonna gain 2 life now, or maybe 4 life, but I think we're still good. Oh. 4 life maximum. The Alliance sound is quite... That's a GG. If I ever saw one. Still takes 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Three, 2, yeah, that's 5. We can cast this 2. Still not going to be enough. Got him. Got him. Still not getting to show off our Kodama / Bankbuster synergy, which is just freaking amazing, and no one's doing on the ladder. Bankbuster just continuing to be a real chef's kiss. The rabbit peanut. No. We meet again. Sure. Keep the Flame Blessed Bolt in case there is you know who. Tenacious, oh so tenacious underdoggy. Oh baby. Well, that's cheeky.
No more
So predictable.
Off you go.
Here comes the invokes. Okay. Nice. Please no removal. As for the draw. Cut down will do it. Oh, it's the moment of truth. Oh, you're still dead.
When I win, you're telling me what you know about. Sacrifices must be made.
GG. I won't do it. One life. And you're dead. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yes! Get stuffed, Mono Black. Really, just took such a huge hit from that sweeper. There's nothing else. So you can still play it. It's still a great deck, but you need to play spot removal, and then you run out of spot removal, and then you're screwed. All right, final match. 45 minutes in. Don't want to go too late. I have had a very long day. It was my wife's birthday today. Hence the smart shirt and rather tired experience. Ugh. It's been a long one. Sure, I guess. Fine. Okay. Is it just mono red or is it... Is it Gruul as well? Maybe it's even Orzhov. I mean, Boros. Can't wait for the Boros Pain land. And if you spend 4 mana on your Shivan Devastator, so cast it for X3, it'll still trigger your pack leader. So whenever you cast a spell with mana value, so works. Bye-bye. Ba-ba-bam! I have removal for whatever you play next. Pretty much. Even if it's, definitely if it's that. Badoosh, 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 badoosh. Alright, ladies and gents, I think that's going to have to be it for tonight's gameplay footage. I think we've done a fair job of illustrating the deck's potential. And I think just something slightly different from the, current meta deck. You can bet your bottom dollar I would never do that to you. You won't see anybody playing Gruul with the Bankbuster. You won't see this sort of weird spread of one-offs, but as you can see, you know, the win rates speak for themselves. There's definitely quite something to this. Just a nice spread of options. I've been really destroying the ladder with this one. You can go and have a look at my untapped profile. The win rates are all there. I'm sitting on upwards of 70% on upwards of 40 matches or something with it, and that's always a good sign. I would love to see what you've been doing with Gruul. Please, you know, send me your deck lists. Come join us on Discord and show me over there. But that is going to be it for tonight, and I will be seeing you all tomorrow with, of course, another fresh brew. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.